welcome to Katrina's Creations. This is episode 391, and I have a whole bunch of works in progress today, so let's get started. I have been like addicted to making these little teeny granny Hexies, I guess. I don't even know what they're called. I dread the day I have to sew these all together, but I've made 32 of them this week, so quite a bit. So let me get started with showing the ones that I have done. I have two that are kind of this maroony, almost a wine color. So I have two of those. And then I have, whoops, I dropped one. I have three that are this color. I have three more that are this color. I have another one of these. Actually, I have one of those sitting in my finished basket, so I'm not sure if one of those was from last week or not. But anyway, altogether there's three of those colors. I have a whole bunch of the gold ones. One of them is in my bin from last week, and then I made a bunch more. At this point, when I first got started, I was going through like one of each color, going my way through, and then finally I was like, this is crazy. I'm just gonna grab one mini skein at a time and work it till I'm done, and then move on to the next. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of this particular one, because this was a double mini skein, so I actually had 20 grams of it instead of 10. So we have that. Then I have three that are in this color. I have three that are in this kind of a russet brown color. And I have three, for the most part in the 10 gram minis, I am getting 3 out of each 10 grams. So there's that one. There's 3 of those. Oh, there's the other purple one. And there's another one of the wine colored. And then the last 3 I have are this color. So a total of 32. I'm running out of space in my little box. I'm gonna have to move up to a bigger box to store all these, because all total now, I've been doing this for 3 weeks, I have 71. I have a funny feeling they're fun to make. I'm gonna have my hands full when I have to sew them together. All of those ends to deal with. Yeah, we'll worry about that when the time comes, but I am having fun making them, and I'm almost through the mini skeins that I currently have, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. So that's project number 1. That's my crochet project. My knitting project, and I've got extra yarn flying around here. My knitting project is my Colorwork sweater. This is from Drops Design, and this is the Pearl du Nord pattern. It is free, and I have completed this chart this week. Last week it was from here to here. This week it is from here to here. So I'm getting ready to start on chart number 3. And this is a Icelandic sweater, so it starts at the neck and it just keeps getting wider and wider until you complete the yoke, and then you separate for the sleeves and go from there. So you could actually do this with a cotton or a linen or something like that for summer, and then stop at the shorter sleeves. I actually have a couple patterns that are like that, but this one is going to be long sleeved because it's wool that I'm making it with. So yeah, so there is what that looks like, and I'm going to show you what the inside looks like. There will be a tutorial on this coming up in the near future. This is what the back of my work looks like. So you can see I do not have any really long carries. When you look at the pattern here, you're carrying two colors at one time. So you're coloring, or you're carrying from this black point to this black point. That black is going to be in the back here, carried along here. However, I don't have any long carries. The problem with doing any type of long carry like that is, number one, things get snagged into it. It also can cause things to pucker a little bit if your tension gets too tight on it. So there will be an upcoming tutorial. I have to put it together yet, but there will be an upcoming tutorial on how to do this so that you don't have long carries in the back. And don't be intimidated by color work. When I first started doing it, it was intimidating, but once you understand that you're really only working, you're holding two colors at once, you're only ever doing two colors at a time, it's really not as confusing as what it sounds like it should be. So that is my knitting project. And then I'm on to my Tunisian crochet. I got about half of this skein done this week. I've got one skein left, and I do not have this attached to a hook right now, so I don't want to pull it too much because there's my end loop and I don't want it to go off and unravel. So this is how big it is right now with that kind of weird pooling. And one of you did make the comment, it kind of reminded you of a sunset, and I definitely see that. And it's something I hadn't noticed before, is you got the pooling here and over here, but you also have a pooling of a blue right in here. So you can see that blue kind of pools together there as well. And it looks like I am getting into that same type of section with the pooling again, because you can see the blue here, and here's that orange. And here it is again. So at least it's semi-random. So yeah, it might make it look a little like it's supposed to look like this. So here it is, and here is the border. You can see it along here, because this is a honeycomb stitch, and this is a traditional Tunisian stitch. So that's what I've been working on this week. What have you been working on? Now in my reading, I finished well, last week I think I showed you two different Aunt Dimity books I was reading. One was Aunt Dimity Detective, and one was Aunt Dimity Next of Kin. And I started listening to the Aunt Dimity Next of Kin and realized I had read it before. I started thinking, it's like, this story sounds really familiar. And then the more I thought about it and went back and checked my book checkoff list, I had read it before, that's why it sounded familiar. But I did finish Aunt Dimity Detective, and that was really cute, how it ended. All of the villagers that are gossiping all stand together at the very end and defend each other, and it turns out that what everybody thought was a murder really wasn't. It was a flower pot. So you'd have to read it to get the part, to understand that part of the story, but it was really cute. So I finished that one, and I have 3 books that I need to pick up at the library before I can get started. I'm trying some new series that I'm not familiar with. I think 2 of them are about tea, because you guys know I love tea, so I have to get those from the library yet. So next week I will let you, or week after next, I will let you know what it is I'm reading. So if you missed yesterday's video, it was on the dyeing faux pas. Where my daughter, my granddaughter, and I got together and we dyed yarn, and it didn't quite turn out the way we intended it to, but we had a lot of fun doing it. So if you missed that video and want to go check it out, you can click the little link right here. That will take you over to it, and you can see for yourself what we were doing and what we ended up with. And yeah, it's called Don't Talk and Dye Things at the Same Time. You lose track of what you're doing. So that was last Friday's video. This coming Friday's video is going to be what am I taking to the craft fairs, because next Saturday when you're watching that video, I will be with Kim and we will be at the first craft fair of the season. So Friday I'm going to kind of go over my inventory and show you what I am going to be selling at the craft fairs this season. So, and if I run out, I will be very quickly making more. So we will see what happens with that. Now it's time for... Now, I have several sales today, so I will run over them. I have my little cheat sheet here. The first one is Lion Brand. Lion Brand has added to their clearance section. It is up to 70% off in their clearance. And until they run out, they have mystery boxes for $19.95. Now, if you aren't familiar with what their mystery boxes are, Kim and I have actually gotten them together several times and compared what we got. But a mystery box from Lion Brand is 9 skeins of yarn for $19.95. So they are usually, at least the ones I've gotten in the past, they're not like 9 completely separate different types of yarn. They're like groups of 3. So you have 3 of one type, 3 of another type, and 3 of another type. So you do end up with enough skeins of yarn to make something with it. So it's while supplies last. So the links to all the sales are down below in the description box. Just click the little bold word more. They're all listed alphabetically, so you can go through there to find them. So that was Lion Brand. Mary Maxim is having an Afghan and blanket kit sale. You can get 25% off of an Afghan or blanket kit. Lovecrafts has 40% off of Cascade, Barocco, Lana Grossa, and other yarns currently advertised in their sales. So that's 40% off of select yarns. Knit Picks has also expanded their clearance section, so they have added, in other words, they've added more stuff to their clearance. So if you want to check that out, I haven't looked at it as of this recording to see what it is they've added to their clearance, but they've added to their clearance if you want to check that out. And then the last one is Leisure Arts, and that's one I don't talk about all that often because it's mostly patterns and things, but they are currently offering 20% off site-wide. So a lot of the old pattern books that I have are actually Leisure Arts, and I do have some that I've bought, in the last couple of years from them. So if you're interested in 20% off site-wide, you do need to use a coupon code 20OFF coupon in order to get that discount. So those are the sales that I know of. So that is it for this week. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. It does help with the analytics. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so much for checking back with me each time I post a video. And if you're not a subscriber, please hit that little red subscribe button down below, and then if you hit the bell-shaped icon next to it, that will let you know anytime I post a video, which is normally Friday and Saturday, or anytime I find out that there's a really good yarn sale that I want to share with you guys. So yeah, that's it for this week. I will see you again on Friday to see my craft inventory, and then again on next Saturday. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.